Welcome back, everyone. This is DB's Best Bets presented by Full Time Roundup, episode 3. Episode 3, we're recording on a Sunday night. We got the long weekend, so we got Monday off, and I'm looking forward to it for sure. But first, we're going to go ahead and kind of recap how the weekend went. Now, the first thing that probably came to your mind is, Daniel, why are you wearing this cap? Well, it's because I bet on almost every single straight bet I had was Premier League. So I thought, why not just rip the cap for the episode? I wouldn't say that this weekend was exactly great for us. I wouldn't say it was catastrophic either. So we're just, let's just go ahead and get it out. The parlay is what hurt. That's what hurt me, Harrison.
I mean,
four legs hit.
5.
Easy.
Four were easy.
And arguably the easiest one, other than probably Inter, I'd say. I thought I was a foregone conclusion that City were going to win this game, to me at least. Obviously, you were on a different side of that, but that hurt me. That hurt me bad. Like Atalanta. Yeah. We argued about Atalanta and Stuttgart too, and both of those teams won too. So
Atalanta was free.
Atlanta was indeed free, but it's okay. So we'll definitely hit you back with a new parlay. Probably not this episode. Not enough games to do that, but maybe for the next weekend we can be successful in that. But we'll kind of go back and forth here. So both of our first bet of the week, the Liverpool Brentford over 3.5, was a nice little cash on 7:30 in the morning. Love that. That was great. I enjoyed watching that game. Didn't really have to sweat the over. I actually didn't think the over was going to get there, to be honest. At halftime, I was a little nervous.
Yeah. But Liverpool's just, they've just been so good this year. It's crazy, man.
It is crazy.
Even with these, like, you might even call it like an injury crisis right now because they have a lot of guys going down.
Yeah.
But they are hot, serious contenders.
Yeah, they are hot, and even with Jota out, Gakpo comes in and scores and assists, which was amazing. So enjoyed every second of that game. And you had that as well, didn't you?
I had Jota prop play to score. Of course, he goes off injured. That was unfortunate. But what are you gonna do about that?
Yeah,
I actually didn't have the over that game. I just had Liverpool in the parlay we took.
Gotcha. Okay, my fault then. But you did have Newcastle Bournemouth over 3.5. I was down the kid a little bit. I didn't expect Newcastle to put up points, but we got there.
It didn't look like it for a long time in that game. For a long time, I was thinking that's another L. Daniel should be the one taking overs, not me. But Matt Ritchie, stoppage time. Never a doubt. Newcastle ends up drawing. Is it 2-2 is the final? Pretty good game for Bournemouth on the road. Solanke he's been a man this year. But yeah. Glad we got the 3.5. Yeah, Chelsea has plenty of those. But it was good to see one cash there.
Yeah, sometimes you gotta see the ball go through the hoop, right?
Right.
Now going back to mine, we both had this one, and this one was unfortunate. This was one of the more confident picks I had, was the Wolves Tottenham over. Number one, could not believe that Wolves actually won this game. That's the first surprise. But number two, that Tottenham only scored 1 goal. Thought that was weird. There was chances in this match. I still like the over pick at the end of the day. But I think it was, losing by the hook's never fun.
I think the game script was in our favor too. We had Wolves going up 2-1 and Tottenham at home, big charge at the end of the second half. You'd expect them to be able to get at least get a tie in that one, but yeah, it just fell short. It's okay. I would probably bet it again.
Yeah, I would too. And I was like, there has to be some extra time winner because Spurs are like known for that. So I was like, maybe, just maybe, Richarlison will just come in clutch for me or something. But it didn't happen. Getting to my third pick, United versus Luton. I think you mushed me on this one a little
I
bit.
might have.
I think you mushed us because you had it as well. 3 goals at halftime.
3
We
goals
had
in
a
the first
push at
15
halftime.
minutes. 3 goals in the first 15 minutes.
And Garnacho and Hoyland decided to start playing with their food and just didn't put the ball in the back of the net in the second half with multiple opportunities. This is one of the pushes that feels like a loss. Sometimes a push feels like a win, like you don't know how you got there. But this one feels like a loss to me, and I'm very upset about it.
I probably did mush us. I mean, I texted Rashford scored. I texted Daniel, first minute, bang. We get another one right after that, 2-0 within, I think we lose 10 minutes. Luton gets one. Oh, we're right where we're going to be, 2-1, 15 minutes in. Silence the rest of the game. That was a gross push.
You cut out a little bit there, but for what I didn't hear is, yeah, we did text after the second game, and you said, I think, quotations, this game is gonna fly over, which is brutal. So it's okay though. It's okay. I'm not that upset. I just that just felt like a loss because we were just so there so fast. You ended up taking over 3.5 Chelsea City. Let's go ahead, and I did too. Let's go ahead and just get into it. They lose the parlay for us, a tie. As a Chelsea fan, how do you feel? Blah blah blah.
Feel amazing. Great result. The boys played fantastic defensively. Disasi was everywhere, which is just something I was not expecting because he has honestly, compared to Colwell, Badiashile, even Thiago Silva, I don't think that people rate him as highly, but he was all over the place defensively. Sterling, nice goal back at City. Really, the team just played excellent, and there probably should have been more goals in this game. I mean, Ederson made a fantastic save at the beginning of the second half to keep it from 2-0, and City were completely dominating the second half, and Chelsea held down the fort for as long as they could until Rodri scored. So, I mean, I think that 3, we could have gotten there, but for myself, happy for the boys. A little hot right now. Liverpool better watch out this coming week.
Oh, not the chirps. Not the chirps. We might actually have to put a wager on that game just between you and me. Not even get the Bucks involved about that. But yeah, that was a tough over. I felt pretty good about that. And obviously City money line I felt was just a lock. So surprised now Chelsea draw. City draw Chelsea twice in a row now. Blah blah blah. Whatever. I'm not that upset.
We kind of have their number, to be honest. We play
you
them
do.
well. I feel like we play them well all the time, especially under Tuchel. We were amazing, but yeah, I don't know. It's weird. City and Chelsea match up interestingly.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that game just to see how Pochettino set up the boys to quell Pep, because I just don't, especially seeing them week to week, they just don't impress me, and then they pull that performance out of their ass. I don't really understand it, but I mean, good for you guys. Glad I didn't take 1.5 City. That was the smartest thing I did all weekend. I also had Roma versus Frosinone. I ended up taking 2 3/4, which is between 2.5 and 3. So that was a half cash for me. But if you just took the juice with over 2.5, that hit. So I said over 2.5, so we'll count it as a W. So I went 2, 2, and 1. So not great, but not bad. And then just quickly recapping, you had Fulham plus a half, which that was an L.
2-1 Villa. Yep, that was an L. That was unfortunate. Good result for Villa on the road. Maybe they're back. But I also had Heidenheim against Leverkusen, which, as I love to say, never a doubt.
Not,
but
never sweated that at all.
No, never doubted it once. But really nice from Heidenheim to get the late goal to make it 2-1, and that's how it finished. And it pretty much came out exactly how I thought it might. 2-1, 1-0, one of those. So nice cash there in Germany.
They played him well. So, and then you also had Isak, who didn't play, so that doesn't count. Lautaro Martinez, bang, and Phil Foden was an L. I believe I said Saka, just as like a lean. So I'm happy that hit. Obviously, I don't think I took really any other props though this weekend. But yeah, it was a good week. Now moving on. Just before we get started, please follow the YouTube account at Full-Time Roundup. Please subscribe, like our videos. Let us know what you like, what you don't like, what we can improve on. In terms of podcasting forums like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, go ahead and give the podcast a 5-star rating. Turn on automatic downloads so you'll always know when the next episode's out. And follow us on Twitter at Full-Time Roundup. Interact with us. If we missed something, if you didn't like something, if you like something, just let us know there. We'd love to hear from you. And just another little quick housekeeping. Me and Matt will be dropping a podcast tomorrow. So be expecting that. Not tonight, which is usually the occurrence, but because we had the holiday off, we decided to give it one more day to let the games kind of digest before we got into it. So go ahead and you'll probably get that around midday tomorrow. So just wanted to put that out there. All right. Week of February 18th, you have a game and a wager on Monday. Now tell us all about it. You have two, actually. Getting right in, jumping right in on a Monday.
I do. We're going straight into the Prem.
I'm going to go ahead and share the screen as well. So sorry about that. Give me 1 second to do that. And we are taking our talents to the Premier League. Everton versus Crystal Palace at Goodison Park. What's the play here?
I'm putting my faith in the Toffees here. Relegation battle. And Crystal Palace, they struggle so much on the road. It's been ugly this year under Hodgson. But Everton, they have guys up top. It's just a matter if they can put it together. And I like them at home. Minus 145 it would be tomorrow, yes, at Goodison Park. Just feels like one of those games Everton's fans are going to be into it all game. They know it's a massive game. And I think Everton squeak one out here. It probably will be an ugly game. I don't mind the under as well, just because Crystal Palace has Elise and other guys potentially out, but I lean Everton to win at home tomorrow at minus 145.
Yeah, I like that. I think Everton are fantastic at home. Crystal Palace don't have Eze and Elise again. Now, the only thing I will say is they do have a new manager now. So that's kind of a big deal. But it seems like it was a little bit out of surprise with Roy Hodgson's health concerns, which I hope you get better, Roy, and enjoy retirement. So I don't know if Oliver Glasner has had time to set up and actually do some research in how. So I do think that gives Everton the edge. And I think they have more talent on the pitch. So Everton should, and it's a must-win game for them as well, right, being in the relegation zone with Luton losing this weekend. So this would be a huge 6-pointer for them, not 6-pointer, but a huge 3 points for them. So we'll see if they get it done. Now, going over to your other Monday night wager, we have Athletic Bilbao or Athletic Club versus Girona. And
spicy game.
It's at Bilbao. Don't really know how to handicap this game. I mean, I'm surprised that Girona's plus almost 3-1 money line, even though it's a away game, because how good they've been this season. A little surprising there, but where do you lean here?
Well, I mean, with Girona at plus 290, it kind of feels like a trap, which is why I'm actually going to take Athletic Bilbao minus 115 at home. They've been in great form. They score a lot of goals, as does Girona, but we'll see. I mean, Girona, obviously, for most of the season have been at the top of La Liga, but Athletic have not been far behind. They have great attackers. And I think at home, it's going to be a fiery atmosphere. And I think Athletic Bilbao pull another one out at home against Girona at -115. I love it.
Very nice. Very nice. Yeah, I don't have anything on this game. I really don't know how this game is going to go. Girona have struggled as of late, so it makes me not want to back them. But an Athletic Club are a great team as well. So I just do not know. I will be staying away from this game, but it's going to be a great watch, I think. To go over, I actually have a play on Tuesday, or I just want to talk about it, and I might have it. I wanted to talk it out with you. Sorry, I'm kind of fumbling the bag here with the whole selection of sharing screen. So City play Brentford again on Tuesday at the Etihad, -500 odds. But so obviously not gonna
lay the -500.
Not gonna do that. But I was thinking about the over at 3.5. But they just played them like 3 weeks ago. So I feel like with that in mind, would you lean the over 3.5? But I'm just scared about the hook here. Like I feel like, but I mean Liverpool also just had their way with Brentford fairly easy on Saturdays.
It feels like it does kind of feel like a goal outbreak again for City. I mean, Chelsea just limited them to 1. It almost feels like the next game, City's going to go big again, which makes me lean the over. Does Brentford get one? I mean, City is kind of vulnerable at the back, and Ivan Toney in transition is scary. But I think I could see the over definitely getting there, and I could see City bagging 3 themselves. So, I mean, I don't hate the over.
If this line was 1.5 and not 2, I'd probably take that. But I feel like there's no value in taking -2. So I'm going to add it to my card over 3.5. I think City are going to respond in a big way here. And
what's their team total?
A team total could be interesting. I'm not sure, but I could imagine it would be like 2.5. I can't find it right now, but if you want to look on
if you click on City Brentford, it probably says it. But I can
learn something new here. Let's see if it ever wants to load. Oh, here we go. It'd probably be in here, right? Nope.
Yeah, somewhere in there. I don't know.
Game props.
I can try to look it up.
Yeah, if you want to try that.
I think there will be goals.
Yeah, I do think so. Total goals. Oh, here we go. For City, 2.5 is -130. Now I like that. I like that a lot. I'm taking that. That's no over 3.5. I'm taking over 2.5 Manchester City goals. Thank you. I was thinking about changing that, but I couldn't find the odds. So thank you for that expertise, Harrison.
Not to mention, also Haaland's going to be pissed. The amount of chances, the 2 glorious chances he missed against Chelsea, I think he's in for a big one against Brentford this week.
Little AGS for you?
Could add to the card for sure, but I'm sure his odds are not great. So we'll have to see about that.
Yeah, I would lean that and then a KDB masterclass. On Wednesday,
just another day in the office.
Yeah, seriously. On Wednesday we have Champions League, but we also have Liverpool versus Luton Town. Not even gonna look here. I'm just taking the over 3.5. Don't care. It's gonna happen. It's easy. You could use City money line, Liverpool money line, and then another game that you like as a parlay. I don't know how good the odds would be, but just to shout that out. But that's really what I'm like. That's the only thing I'm going to take in this game is over 3.5.
Hey, I mean, should have hit today, but at Anfield, I could see them killing them.
Yeah, and we lost or we tied to them earlier this season, like shockingly. Like
Mhm.
this is one of those games that Jurgen has been focused on, and I don't care about the injuries. We're even though we play you guys on Sunday, still enough rest to get it done. So I think Liverpool lay the wood here. I'm not gonna take 2.5 because I think Luton are a good side, but I'm gonna take the over 3.5 and hopefully not to sweat it one bit. All right, now it is Champions League time. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not like the slate at all, but we found some diamonds in the rough here, Harrison. I'm just going to go ahead and just tell you my one play here is Arsenal money line at -140. I think that's just at that threshold of it's small enough where I can use it as a wager and not in a parlay. So I'm going to be taking Arsenal money line.
I'm right there with you. The way they've been playing, I mean, 6-0 and 5-0, they've just been killing teams. I'm not saying Porto, they're going to kill Porto or anything like that, but there's different levels to this. Arsenal's been playing like a true title contender this season, and I think they'll make a pretty deep run into the Champions League. So I like them at -140. I mean, if they can win here, I think the tie's over because once it goes back to the Emirates, I don't see Porto having a chance. So I think -140 is a good line there.
I also got cheeky, and I don't have a straight bet for the game per se, but I do have Inter Milan to advance. Yes, at
What's the odds on
-140.
that?
-140, which is not as good as I would like it to be because I think Atletico Madrid are still a good side, but I love this Inter team. I love Inzaghi, and they just have not given me a single reason not to back them. They went to the Champions League final last year. They've been here before, obviously. So I'm not going to bet that money line. But if you wanted to translate me to pick them to advance, that money line at -125 is a little bit better value. I just don't want to double dip here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna take it, but -125 at home, I
Good
like
value.
it. I mean, and what I will be playing in Inter Atletico is under 2.5. No Morata. I just don't know if Atletico is gonna be able to break down Inter's defense that's only allowed 12 goals in Serie A this year.
That's an
Um,
excellent stat.
yeah, I know. And I think that I think Inter will win, but Simeone, he loves to keep it tight and cagey in Champions League, especially knockout games. So I lean under 2.5, and I mean, I'm going to take under 2.5, and I lean an Inter win, but I feel more comfortable taking the under 2.5 and what feels like it'll be a tight one. But yeah,
I'm just sad you're taking an under.
I know.
Um,
I know it's against everything you stand for. I'm so
it
sorry.
is against literally everything. I mean, I have 3 rules. We were talking about it. Number 1, you never take an under. Number 2, you never, ever, ever bet Saudi League. And number 3, you don't
Oh
even
no.
look at Bayern Munich. You until they're good again, obviously. But right now, don't even look at them because it's not worth it. So you
We're
are
creating a
breaking
do
one of
not
my
list. We are creating a do not list. I'm gonna break it just for this one, but I rarely take unders. This is just one that I like a lot.
I forgive you and I understand it. So, and you presented that wonderful stat. So we're going to move past this in our relationship. Just know that it does pain me a little bit. Um,
I hear ya.
so you also have another wager in this slate, and I'd love to hear it because this is a really interesting game.
PSV money line plus 120. This team has been scorching all year. They haven't lost a game in the Netherlands, and they have some firepower going forward. Obviously, Pepe's had an okay year. De Jong's had a great year, and it's gonna be rocking. They are not PSV fans are not used to having necessarily knockout games. in the Champions League. And Dortmund's coming in. No Adeyemi. Obviously, they got Sancho now, but they lose a little bit, I think, with Adeyemi. Fulkrug's had a great year, but I just got this feeling that PSV is going to pull something out at home. Now, I definitely could see Dortmund getting something done back in Germany, but I like PSV at home to win. At plus 120, it's pretty good value too, I think.
That is great value. Very juicy. Dortmund are a weird team for me. Can't trust them. I looked at the over and I leaned the over in this game at, what is it? My over 3, even odds. I might play that as a lean. But I just don't, you never know what Dortmund side you're going to get. It's hard to litmus test. This is a good litmus test for PSV because obviously they waxed everyone in the Dutch league, but they've done decent in the Champions League. They haven't blown anyone's socks off, but they did good enough in the group stage where I'm not going to back Dortmund here. I also think I think PSV had the better coach here with Peter Bosz over Terzic. I think this will be also a really fun game to watch for the viewer. So I'm going to lean over here, and I wish you luck on your PSV bet because we have a lot of Americans in that XI. Hoping Tillman and Dest start. Pepe will probably come off the bench if I had to guess, but love to see an appearance from El Train. But I like it. I like it, Harrison. So best of luck. Best of luck on that.
I wanted to take the over. That was my first gut reaction. But Dortmund is just so streaky, I feel like, and you just never know what Dortmund team you're going to get offensively. So I just wanted to back PSV instead.
Yeah, that was probably smart. I mean, PSV also have a great defense, so don't know if that will will be a factor here. But I don't think it will be with the Champions League, especially if Sancho is playing, like you said. Ian Matson's been wonderful on that left side with him, and then Fulkrug has found form as of late. To move over to the Europa League, we have, for some reason, Champions League doesn't do the reverse fixture the next week, but Europa League does. I genuinely could not tell you why. But I do have a couple plays in this one. I'm going to go back to the well here, Harrison. I'm taking this AS Roma Feyenoord over 2.5 again. I think it should have hit the first time. I think it will hit this time. So that's my play number 1.
I don't have anything in Europa, so I'm going to let you go. But I think that I might go back to the well again also because I did say it's probably a play I would do again. So I might just do it again.
Yeah. We also have Sparta Prague versus Galatasaray. I'm taking over 2.5, or I guess it'd be over 3. I think that's going to be an easy one, even at Sparta Prague. Galatasaray just really good going forward. Not great defensively, so I'm going to just go back to the well with that. I think I don't know if that was an official play last week or not, but I did play it, so it was not, but it was one of my leans, and it ended up hitting for me. I think Sporting minus 280 is excellent value against Young Boys. Not going to take anything in that match, but I do like Sporting Lisbon minus 280 money line in that.
Liverpool. Throw it in Liverpool, Man City.
Liverpool City, that could be a good parlay. Benfica to lose, like that was a lean I had, and it was the sweatiest lean of all time. I would lean the over in this match again. I think Benfica, they were up 5-0 at halftime, and they rotated today, actually. So I think that they're going to be hot. Toulouse actually won in the league. 2 informed teams playing. Should be fireworks. I thought Benfica just could not put the ball in the back of the net as well. That was their struggle. And I think since they found the net this weekend, they're not going to have that same issue. So I lean the over at 3 with that.
They're just a better team. Like they should
And
be able to get it
they're a
done.
better team. Yeah. And I'm going to go on a little rant here. Marcus Leonardo should start every single game. He hasn't started a single game yet. And he's scored like 2 or 3 goals off the bench. He comes on in the 85th minute while they're tied against Toulouse. You know what he does? He immediately draws the second penalty for the game winner. He didn't get the start on Saturday or today on Sunday. I don't understand it. He better be starting for Benfica on Thursday. There's no Cabral is cheeks. The guy they started today is bad. It's really pissing me off at this point. I want to see Marcus Leonardo play and score goals. So that's just my rant. I'm gonna move on here. Ren AC Milan over 2.5. We're going back to the well, baby. We're going back to the well. Milan rotated their entire team this weekend and lost. So they're going to be putting all their eggs in one basket, and they're going to want to play really well. I think Ren should score here, so I'm going to play the over 2.5 for my final play. Nothing really else. I guess Braga Karabag could be an over to look at. I mean, it flew over. You unfortunately were on the wrong side of that money line. I don't really know what's going on with Braga right now, but I could see that game being an over game and a fun watch. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, again, Braga's more talented. Not sure what happened at home. That was unfortunate, but I mean, they should win that game. And if it's anything like the first leg, it will be high tempo and there should be goals. We'll see how Karabag decides to play it, being up 2 goals.
Yeah, it could get cagey. These second fixtures are sometimes weird because of they like to just conserve. I don't have a play in the Conference League, but I just wanted to go over it real quick. Bodo Glint versus Ajax. I don't like over 3.5 there. I don't like that really. Maybe at like over 3, but that was a really interesting game last week. Two late goals for Ajax to make the tie, to save the tie basically. Betis versus Zagreb, they just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net. So we'll see if they struggle away from home. That Eintracht Frankfurt Union St. Gilloise game was pretty fire. So we'll see if we get some more fireworks in that one. And I'm thinking about.
I don't get excited enough for the Europa Conference League to.
It's kind of fired.
Want to fire? I mean, I know some like that Ajax game was awesome, but like, I mean, some of these games just don't get the juices flowing as much as a Europa or Champions League game.
I agree with you. I was actually watching the Golasso Network, and this Molde Legia Warsaw game was like insane. There were so many goals, and
I love the Golasso show.
I would look. Yeah, Golasso is undefeated. I would look at that. I'm not going to take it because I think people would start to be concerned with me if I bet Molde and Legia Warsaw over.
Hey, if you gotta lean, you gotta lean. I mean,
I get that. That is true. That is true. So I'm not gonna take that, but I'm gonna stop sharing now. We got the picks in. So just to recap, for me, Liverpool Luton over 3.5, Roma Feyenoord over 2.5, Galatasaray Sparta Prague over 3, and Arsenal moneyline and Rennes AC Milan over.
And I have Everton moneyline against Crystal Palace, Athletic Bilbao moneyline against Girona, Inter and Atletico under 2.5, PSV moneyline, Arsenal moneyline, and I'm gonna add the Roma Feyenoord over.
Let's go. I love that. I don't really have any. We mentioned some leans for the AGS, like anytime goal scorer. Don't really love any of that today, so not really going to include that on this show. But as always, thank you for joining me, Harrison. It's been a pleasure seeing your wonderful face. Pause.
Thank you.
No, I'm just kidding. As always, follow, subscribe, like the videos at Full-Time Roundup on YouTube. Follow our Twitter at Full-Time Roundup. Like, subscribe, rate 5 stars, download Follow Harrison at HClark_02 and follow H Clark_2. Sorry.
Attaboy.
And my memory is not the best. And follow me at Liverpool CLTFC. When we do these episodes, I copy the URL, I tweet it out on the Full-Time Roundup account, and then I actually post our plays underneath. So you don't have to write these down, obviously. Just go ahead and go to the Twitter and see it for yourself. And for you, let's get in the green. Not a bad week though. And then I was
zeroed. Gonna kill me.
I was zeroed out. I guess with the parlay, I was slightly in the red. So cooled off a little bit, but let's get back on track. Back on track week.
Big week. Need it.
All right, guys. Well, we will see you later this week. And in the meantime, good luck and enjoy the games.